The other thing, she then hopped over to visit the Yaqui peoples. And the Yaqui peoples have a university that got inaugurated, that she was there for the inauguration of the university. And that university was the very first one that I think 2 or 3 years ago, the previous president, AMLO, set up as part of his initial, he's the one that kickstarted the indigenous justice plan. So the Yaqui people were the first ones to get that started with. So now we have fast forward to the inauguration of their university, and their university focuses on law, indigenous law, because if you have an indigenous justice plan with a national rights and constitutional rights for indigenous people, you want to have indigenous people that are trained and built out of their own university to not only be able to uphold those constitutional laws, but to help propose adjustments and changes to the indigenous justice plan, right? So that's kind of the purpose of all that. There's also like a Department of Indigenous Medicine that you can get a degree in that combines indigenous medicine with modern medicine to however you see fit, right, as your peoples. They have like a community health degree. The cool thing about the community health one is that one of the programs of that community health department is to have, I think they set up like 6 cafeterias through all of the like different parts of where the tribes are located. That way kids in those regions always have food and people in those regions always have food. It's like cafeterias. You got a full ass kitchen to be able to do stuff. So that's a part of the university. They just did a whole bunch of that stuff like that. There's also a language restoration and artifact restoration department. So you could get a degree in artifact restoration and in language restoration and preservation, and then you work in conjunction with national department that takes care of those things, and you could be networked with all the other departments. So like in one of the other videos when I talked about how the indigenous justice plan was being rolled out and it was translated into 60 something languages, that's the department that handles that for the Ramuri people and translating the constitutional laws that are going to be protecting indigenous people. So that's the first, like I said, the plan for, oh, right, sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is another thing that you could get a degree in. And that's wildly important for the Yaqui people because the Yaqui people's fight with the Mexican government has always revolved around access to the river and access to clean water. So if you saw the previous video about indigenous rights, one of the first things that was mentioned is the rights to your land and the rights to clean water. So AMLO also kickstarted a river restoration program and a lot of other things like that, infrastructure to be able to pump water up and down, back and forth. But again, the cool thing about this shit is that they're giving a budget and a lot of support, and we'll see how it goes.